Back to British Stand. Today, of course, we're going to be discussing the news that broke this morning with regard to a man being stabbed to death outside a luxury hotel in Knightsbridge. Yes, absolutely shocking, and I've said it before and I will say it again. You cannot wear anything nice now in the United Kingdom, especially in London, without fearing for your life. And there's no wonder why there is a massive millionaire exodus within this country, because this country can't even, well, with the high taxes, this country can't even guarantee your safety at a luxury hotel or just outside a luxury hotel. Guys, as stated, news this morning emerged that a man was stabbed to death outside a luxury hotel and casino. This is emergency services were called at 9:24 p.m. on Wednesday to Savile Road, where they found a man in his 30s with stab wounds, and unfortunately, upon attending the scene, he had unfortunately died. The man was outside a 5-star hotel in one of London's wealthiest areas and was with his partner. It said that, of course, one of these guys on those e-bikes had come over, tried to grab his watch, but the man fought back. But unfortunately, he paid with his life. Now, there is a manhunt currently ongoing for this individual as he fled the scene on one of those e-bikes. He was masked as well, but of course, a manhunt is currently ongoing. And a Met Police spokesperson said at 24 hours on Wednesday the 9th of July, officers and the London Ambulance Service and London's Air Ambulance responded to reports of a stabbing on Savile Street in Knightsbridge. One victim, a man in his 30s, was found at the scene with stab wounds and was treated by paramedics. Sadly, despite their best efforts, he was pronounced dead shortly after their arrival. Emergency services remain at the location. A crime scene has been established. Several lines of inquiry are ongoing. At this stage, no arrests have been made. So this guy is cutting about, and this is the state of Sadiq Khan's London. An individual being stabbed and killed over a guy trying to take his watch, a young man in his 30s with his partner by him. Now, again, you wonder why millionaires are leaving the country in their droves. I mean, the tax rates in particular are absolutely mental, but as you can see in this image, the UAE, of course, is attracting millionaires due to its low taxes, residency programs, and high-end lifestyle offerings. And I would put onto that safety. And as you can see at the bottom of the list, the UK will lose the most millionaires due to sweeping tax changes and the closure of investor visas. As you can see, we have the highest amount of millionaires currently leaving our country, and a lot of them are headed out to the UAE. Now, can you blame them? Because yes, the taxes is one thing that you can have a discussion about, but the UK and London can no longer offer a basic requirement, and that's safety. You can't walk down the street in London with a Rolex watch, or not even a Rolex watch, a watch in general probably, without the fear of losing your life or some guy with a sword sticking it through your body in attempt to try and take your item, a watch or an item of clothing, a bag or something like this. And you wonder, and I've said it so many times and I'll say it again, you cannot wear luxury clothing in some of London's richest parts of London's richest areas, because you will get robbed, and you can pay with your life like this individual has done here. Gone away, probably a highlight of the week, of course, with his partner outside one of the best hotels, staying there, and gets killed, all for a watch by some masked hooligan who's currently on the run. But this is the stories that currently make the news, but you're starting to hear this all too often. No, some of them aren't even fatal, but the robberies are happening all too often, and this is the state of modern London, and the modern United Kingdom is an absolute cesspit. And my thoughts and prayers are currently with this guy who's lost his life in one of London's wealthiest areas due to some robber masked up trying to take his watch. It's a basic requirement, and that's why I don't purge on anybody who leaves the United Kingdom. Because yes, the taxes are rotten. Yes, you could say the weather's rotten, depending if you like the weather or whatnot. But we can't even guarantee people's safety within this country anymore. So how can you blame people that have the funds and are fortunate enough, I suppose, to jet off, to leave the country where their life will be better and they can be guaranteed a basic requirement, that's the safety. They don't have to worry about having a knife stabbed into them in attempt for someone to take their watch. It's shocking, it really, really is. But it's something that we see on a day-to-day basis now in London. We really do. Let's go through the live chat and see what people are thinking with regard to this. Sadly, we're not safe anymore, says Moonlight Sonata. Well, it's modern day Europe. I mean, Paris is no better, I suppose, but I feel London, there's always some sorts of stuff. It's a massive knife epidemic, a stabbing epidemic within this country. And there's people out there with the mentality that this guy went to kill somebody that he didn't even know just for his watch. It's absolutely bonkers, man. It really, really is. And people like Sadiq Khan can't get a grip of crime. And people, I don't like to speculate on what this individual would have looked like, but again, fill in the blank. Bro, UK became Afghanistan. Sharon Garner says, I was in London 3 years ago, not going again. People saying that they don't visit London anymore. I mean, it used to be my favourite city. It genuinely did. I used to live there, of course. My background was, I was in the Queen's Guard. It's called the King's Guards now. So we used to be based at a place called Wellington Barracks across from Buckingham Palace, and that was 2015 to about 2017, and I felt relatively safe then. I mean, I don't know if it's just because I was living in the city, but my goodness me, it just feels that crime is going up massively so in London, in the stabbing epidemic in this country. But especially, I always like this conversation about millionaires, and I've just showed you the exodus that's happening. Why would you stay in London if you have money? Why? It's overpriced, firstly. Secondly, you're paying mass amounts of taxes. And then thirdly, you can't even guarantee your own safety. You can't even, the basic requirements of living a life in a city or in a place or a town, you want to feel safe at where you are. And London can't guarantee that to anybody. Just imagine the scene. This guy, young man, out with his partner, obviously wearing a Rolex watch, probably done well for himself, of a man in his 30s. And he loses his life after some masked man comes up to him and stabs him to death in front of his partner in the city. It's disgusting. It's absolutely vile. And it's just going to carry on happening in this country. Adam Bennett says, I hate London, nobody speaks English, and everything costs twice as much as home city of Newcastle. What is special about London? The architecture, the history, the British history, yes, it's very, very good, but apart from that, that sort of stuff is almost demonized nowadays. I'm surprised, Admiral Nelson's statue at the top of Trafalgar has not been taken down. Winston Churchill. British history, by the looks of things. Not everybody, of course. There'll be people that, of course, are very proud of it. But a lot of the people that live in London don't like British history. So what is the appealing factor of London? I don't get it. Mike says, whether it's a watch or a car or whether it's not mine, I didn't work for it. If you have more than I do, well, I'm pleased for you. Crazy how people feel entitled to stab and take stuff. Absolutely disgusting. No, it's not in a normal human brain. There is nothing in the mind saying I'm just going to take something and kill another man for it. It's so backwards and it's so third world. See the key word there, third world. I know I can't speculate, but again, we'll see. But yeah, this guy is currently on the run at this moment in time. Thing is, though, we're all complaining about the state of London, but I have to ask, what are we really doing to take it back, to sort this problem out? Well, it'll probably go a long way of getting the big man out of power. I can't believe he's had 3 terms as the mayor of London, and he's been knighted for the work that he's done. The place is a cesspit. It's crime-ridden. It's absolutely crime-ridden. Absolutely crime-ridden. Yeah. I mean, everybody's sharing the same sport. Andrew says, sadly, London is no longer the same. Exactly why would you say? Why would you stay? Time to move on ASAP. I don't get it. I mean, people are trying to make the argument and say, well, you know, all these kind of things about taxes. I think a lot of millionaire British patriots would pay the taxes because they love the country. Not everyone is a tax exile, by the way, despite taxes going through the roof. I think most people are probably leaving the United Kingdom to guarantee their safety if they live in London as a millionaire. I know a lot of people that are doing very, very well that have moved out onto the UAE and registered their company out there. And a lot of it, yes, there is tax benefits to it because the Labour government puts it through the roof. You know, I want my family to be safe. I want to be able to feel safe in a country. And London, or especially the city, doesn't offer that. Places like the UAE do. Get Khan out. I mean, God knows how that. Well, I do know kind of how he's had a 3rd term, but I don't want to say it too out loud. But yeah, guys, as always, do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below with regard to London. If you are just joining in, yeah, you can no longer wear anything nice in London anymore because you could lose your life like this individual has here today. A 30-year-old man this morning, it was announced, has been stabbed to death outside a luxury 5-star hotel as a masked robber stabbed him and then allegedly left on an e-scooter. Disgusting and absolutely vile. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hit the like button, hit the